name is Madeleine. I'm a psychic channel medium, and today I'm going to do a read for Virgo. So we're going to see how the current astrological energies are impacting the energy of Virgo. Let's take a quick look and see where all Virgo, what's going on for Virgo in the planets. So we're going with Virgo ascendant. We have a lot of planets in the second house. We have Mars in your first house. We have Jupiter in the fourth, Saturn in your fifth. Saturn stationing direct right now. Jupiter's also just stationed direct. Uranus, I'm trying to think, is it direct or indirect right now? But anyway, Pluto I know is stationing direct tomorrow in the sign of Capricorn. And for Virgo, that's going to be in your fifth house. So you've got fifth house activity going on, fourth house with Jupiter, which is home, properties, mother, the sign of Cancer. Then fifth house is Saturn, career, stationing direct in the fifth house for Virgo. That could be relationships, creative projects, acting, playing. And now that Saturn has started stationing direct last week, things will probably start going forward for you in your fifth house in relation to career. Saturn, it's in Capricorn. All right, what else? So let's look at Pluto. So fifth house issues, deep fears in the fifth house relating to the fifth house. We have Pluto in Capricorn. So fifth house issues, karma clearing, in the fifth house. And then we had that, well, what does that mean in the fifth house? I guess it could be relationship issues, play issues, that deep fear issues that prevent you from being free and playful and creative and joyful, I suppose. And then in the moon, we had that new moon in Libra on the 28th, hitting your second house of finances, money. Okay, so let's have a look and see how the cards talk to the energy of Virgo. And I like to think that these reads go for whatever planets you have in Virgo. So if you have a sun, obviously sun, ascendant, and moon in Virgo, this will be the strongest. But if you have your Venus in Virgo or your Saturn in Virgo, I like to think these reads are relevant for that. Oh, yes. Okay. Alrighty, I call in the highest guides available, highest frequency guides to descend from the heavens and be with us, so that I may be guided to guide the energy of Virgo during this current astrological weather. Thank you for being with us. Oh, I just want to mention I'm having a workshop. I teach divination workshops in the Los Angeles area. I'm having one this Saturday, the October 5th, in Pasadena in a beautiful villa. If you would like to come, email me. My email is below. And also, if you'd like a private read, do email me. We're going to have at this workshop, we're going to also have energy healing, and we're going to have a group meditation. So it's going to be a really, really nice day. Okay, so this is for Virgo. I'm just going to take a quick look and see how we're fitting in the screen here. We're a little bit high. Okay. All right. First off the bat, I like to teach as I do these reads. It's a habit that I've sort of developed. The first card so I explain my grid as I go. The first card in the grid is the situation that the cards want to talk about. So currently, right away, out of the bat is a financial new start for Virgo. It is the sign of Virgo. We just had a lot of planets in Virgo. So let me look at this chart again. Leo in the second house for Virgo, which is the house of Pentacles, the house of Taurus, which is a Pentacle too. So this is also Virgo. So yes, financial new beginnings in the makings for Virgo, giving you a sense of security. We get the Nine of Wands there. The Nine of Wands indicating that this financial opportunity that's come in is creating a sense of security and safety and guarding against fears. Now, this card's been coming up a lot in my reads recently, which is the Two of Swords in the divine section. This is what you think, the situation, what you think of the situation, what the divine or your higher self wants you to think of the situation. And then the outcome wild card kind of helps you complete the sentence. So, I just want to make sure I'm recording because sometimes, okay, good. So with the Two of Swords hitting in the divine section, it talks a lot about this period that we just went through with Saturn, where it was in retrograde and there was a lot of blocks. Well, a lot of our progress seemed to be blocked, but really it was for us to become aware of what we do that blocks. So so this looks to me like Virgo is in a secure place, but then we got to deal with some blockage, and we're going to talk about that, okay, in a sec. So let's just look at the Ten of Wands hitting here and the Two of Pentacles. Ten of Wands burdening, figuring out a way to sort of, now that we get the Queen of Swords, quitting ego or quitting the devil, and then we're going to talk about what that can mean. And then we get, because the Queen of Swords is stopping, boom, it could be quitting addictions, it could be quitting, because of this Two of Swords up here, what we're getting is an awareness of blocking energy. Now I'm thinking it's going to be trying to be secure as the blocking energy, and because we get that right after the Nine of Wands, saying thoughts that block, to end them. The King of Swords can mean stop, quitting as well. We got two swords, so we got decision making, to release this block of safety, of mentality seeking financial security. But of course we all need some sort of financial security. However, there's a realization here that focusing on it because you're thinking about it or seeking it is what's the blockage that needs to be dealt with. So it's really time for the Virgo to take on the effort from a project or initiation or an endeavor that stems from the heart. And even though, because then we get the Ten of Wands, which tends to be a card of burden and difficulty or challenge, it's because I think the Virgo process what they desire to possibly be too hard to do, because the Virgo have such high standards, they have such perfectionist issues, which is, based in ego. It's the shadow side of Virgo, but it's a blocking energy to try to be so perfectionistic because they are so able to be so detailed visioned. They're aware of imperfections so quickly that it can be a procrastination experience for them. So and they tend to tackle, the read is sort of saying that the tendency is to tackle on projects that you think are secure rather than that are from the heart and possibly more challenging and difficult. Well, Divine wants you to quit those ego type thoughts, those fear-based energy thoughts that are belief in lack. Now, that's when we get, this card is turned out of alignment. So it's saying that this energy is causing out of alignment. And the Divine wants the Virgo to stop making these sorts of choices, which again is status, could also be status, could be addiction, could be so making choices in career or relationships based on senses of security or relationship type, being addicted to just relationships in general, and to quit that, to sort of stop the blocking that prevents you from really taking on the truth of your heart and figuring out how to make that happen and materialize that. The sign of Virgo is the sign of materializing. It's the Pentacles. So let's take a look at what goes on here. So there's confusion in the conflict. So the conflict about what's in the heart is what's blocking for Virgo right now. Now, relationships, there is Virgo do great in relationships as far as using the Virgo energy in a positive force with relationships. It's sort of like the detailed ability of Virgo really lends, because it's the sign of service, so it really, it's the sixth house, so it really, and they're humble, and they help and they serve. So it's about relationships always. They're, because they don't just do it in a vacuum, in a bubble by themselves. They serve other relationships, higher frequency relationships, that are truly in the heart. However, in general, the Virgo have been slightly out of alignment, conflicted with what's the truth in their heart, because we get the King of Cups turning out of alignment here in the divine section of my read, because I have the divine. Oh, did I explain this is what the divine wants you to know? And this is what the divine tells you is behind your feelings of this burdensome experience in motivating from the heart or acting from what's truly in your heart, is a conflict of what that is. So the divine wants you to know to stay grounded in a truth, to operate. In other words, the most abundant path for for Virgo here is to turn in alignment with their, in other words, seek the truth of what they desire to truly do from the heart, to align their efforts with that. We get the King of Cups in the divine section, which is a heart motivated person. It's a cup, it's an empath, it's a water sign, it's the heart sign. And then we get working out of alignment. So it's saying out of alignment, efforting, and not. So if this King of Cups is turned out of alignment, it means he's not in his heart. So the Virgo really need to take this time period now to take a time to really seek what is in their heart, how they want to give, in a way that doesn't trap them, but that they're enabled to move forward in life from a place of genuine, honest, balanced emotional motivation that's propelling. This Knight of Cups is in alignment. So if we put these cards in alignment, giving, knowing how to give, knowing how to serve from a place of heart, to relationships that are solid, that are divinely supported. That's what that means. It's a higher dimensional relationship supported by the higher realms. It's in fated relationships. So when the Virgo understand what's going on in their hearts, what's the truth, they'll know where to give. They'll know how to go forward. So the Virgo need to take some time. The Hermit is the Virgo card. The Virgo need to make sure they align with their heart's truth, and in relationships and in mission and in purpose, because otherwise they become trapped in situations. And they also become trapped in perfectionism, because this is all in the alignment of this out of alignment section of the read. And so knowing that, not taking the time, patience showing, to commit, this card is now showing, to giving in alignment from what the Virgo truly desire in their hearts, to locate their truth, rather than to just sort of act in thoughts, and activating from a motive of security, seeking security. Instead, knowing the truth of where to give, that really sets them free, because it's something that they truly desire. And you don't have to be perfect at it when you start, Virgo. When you go forward with this new mission, this new endeavor, you're not going to be perfect at it. It's okay. But you'll be happy. You'll be emotionally fulfilled in it, and allow the imperfections of your new start to show. And you will, Virgo, you will become very detailed and precision. It will happen in the project as you go forward. Be patient with yourself. Allow your imperfections to happen. Kill the ego around that. And then you will discover your freedom. Okay? Thank you, Virgo. I hope this was helpful. Namaste.